I became a stepmom at the end of 2021. And those kids, they did not come with any type of manual, any instructions. There was no role or script to follow on how you step parent kids. All I truthfully know at that time was I loved a man that loved his kids. And I wanted to be with that man. And with that man came these two boys. At the time, I think that they were 7 and 9, so they were still pretty young. And I knew that I had to be a good example for them. And I had to love them without any conditions. So going into this whole stepmom role, it wasn't something that was very simple at all. It was actually really hard. It was hard because the kids were being raised a certain way by their mother, and regardless if I felt like if it was right or if it was wrong, I still had to try to respect the way she was raising her kids. And there was a lot of confrontation about that because of my husband and their dad. So I was really trying to make this whole blended family thing work for them, for us, and make everybody happy. But the truth is the kids were coming from a history. They were coming from this history that they were conditioned throughout their life to believe this was right. They'd grown up very differently than I had. And they had a really good life. Like their mother was always present. She was doing the best that she could. Their dad had been gone because he had traveled for work most of their lives because he was a provider. That's what he did. And because my husband's ex-wife and my husband's ex-wife and their divorce it was a messy divorce. Like the kids had been taught so many different things that were so negative, and it was so hard when they would come to me and they would say A, B, and C said this or A, B, and C said that. And it was heartbreaking to hear a lot of the stuff that was being said because from what I knew, a majority of it wasn't true. And I'm still in the process of trying to heal myself. And then I have these two amazing little human beings that are coming to me for a sounding board because of all these things that have happened in their life. And that was not something that happened overnight either. It took a year, 2 years to finally the kids to open up to me, to really tell me what was going on in their life and how they felt. And throughout that process, I'm still healing my own self and dealing with my own childhood traumas and my own things. And what I did know was that I had this 6-foot young man standing in front of me and this other 5.5 foot taller than me, because they both have always been taller than me, looking at me for some type of guidance or answers. And that is terrifying because I didn't want to give them bad advice. I didn't want to give them wrong advice. I just wanted them to know that they could tell me anything and I was a safe space for them and I would love them unconditionally. And for me, going through all that with them and trying to untangle years and years of my own personal trauma in a healthy way, it was super stressful for me, so stressful. And I was trying to show up for two children that didn't ask me to show up for them. I was just placed in their life. They had to accept a complete stranger because their mom and dad were divorced. Their dad had gotten remarried, and I had no history with them. And it took a lot of time and trust and effort to be able to get them to open up to me and to tell me how they felt. And, also at the same time, dealing with becoming a stepmom and trying to love loving these two kids and creating a safe environment for them and a place that they felt loved and secure with me and their dad, and trying also not to make them feel like I'm trying to replace their mom, and also trying to help their mom make sure she doesn't feel like that I'm trying to replace her, and creating all these healthy boundaries for every single person and trying to build all this trust. It's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting because as a step parent, it's not easy because you can't step on this person's toes because you have to listen to the mom. And then you're married to the dad and you have to listen to the dad. And then when the kids don't agree with either parent, it becomes like a whole, what do you do moment? And there were so many moments throughout this process that I felt completely left out because the kids and my husband, they had these stories they could tell about each other, memories they had together. Like, I don't have their past. I don't know all the memories they share with their dad. I don't know all their memories that they share with their mom. And I for a while, I didn't feel like I really fit into that family dynamic because they weren't biologically my children. They weren't someone that I had taken from a young age or I'd been with from a young age and I had raised. And they come with their own set of rules, their own set of boundaries, and their own set of emotions, and their own sets of their own little traumas they have to deal with. So I'm coming into this life and becoming this parental figure for these two amazing kids, and I questioned everything I said, everything I did. Like, I would ask myself, am I enough? Like, can I be a good example for these boys? Can I not overstep their mom's boundaries? Can I not overstep their dad's boundaries? And how can I support them? Because step parenting is a lot of invisible work. You don't get recognized for the things that you do when you have the kids. You don't get recognized for Mother's Day, even though when you do have these children, you are their parental mother in their life when they're with you. You show up for them. You make sure they eat, make sure they do their laundry, make sure they do their schoolwork, make sure they do all these things, and you're not recognized as their mother. You're just a step parent. There's no recognitions technically for step parents, but you do it because for me, I met this amazing human being, and this amazing human being that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with had these amazing kids. So I got these amazing kids, and then I had to be okay with putting in all this energy and all this work and never getting recognized for it. And that's loving these children without any expectations. It's choosing that I show up all the time as much as I can over and over again. And I'm so grateful that I did do that. And trust me, it was awkward at first and it was weird. I mean, do you know how weird it is to go to like something for the kids and your husband's ex-wife is sitting there and the kids are there and you just feel so awkward because you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. You're like in a really uncomfortable situation. But after time, the awkwardness kind of slows down and it becomes more like a family dynamic. And the kids, you spend time with the kids and you learn how the kids are. You learn about their personalities. They start opening it up to you. You start building trust with them. They learn to trust you. And also, the kids have taught me so many different things. The boys taught me so much stuff that I still needed to learn that I had never learned. And probably the biggest thing that the kids taught me was patience. Like, that's probably the biggest one, patience. Because in the beginning, I wanted this relationship to be rushed and everything to just feel normal and not awkward in the beginning. But through patience and consistency and safe spaces for them and unconditional love, and really just showing up and being there, we have this beautiful, stepmother, stepson relationship. And the kids, they don't need me to be perfect. And I thought that they did for a really long time. They needed somebody to be perfect for them. And what they really needed was somebody that was going to be real with them, somebody that was going to be honest with them, somebody that was going to show up for them and love them without any type of condition attached. And throughout all of that, I've realized that being a parent isn't just about sharing a DNA with this. Being a parent is somebody that loves them and that will show up for them. And I've shown up for these two kids now since their dad and I got together. And I've created nothing but a safe space for them, a place where they know they are loved unconditionally, that they can be exactly who they are. They can say how they feel without judgment. They can ask for advice. and they can get honest advice. And they know, me and their dad have taught them that we're not perfect. The only advice that we can give you is based on the experiences that we've had in life. And we will, our whole goal is to make sure that you guys turn out to be good human beings, that you feel loved and safe and cared for. And we want to make sure that you're guided in the best way based on the situation that you're in. We want to protect you. So we built this relationship with me, my husband and myself and the boys, that our entire relationship is built on honesty. It's built on trust. It's built on unconditional love. And we have open communication. We have an open dialogue about anything that, they may feel they need to discuss. And their dad and I are very open with them about things too. So even though I'm not their mother, and I've never tried to be their mother, and I've never tried to take her place, because they do have a really great mom. But I am somebody that loves them. Their dad is somebody that loves them. And we love them deeply. And because of all that, we've created our own little family just with them. And I'm so grateful for them, because they're amazing. Like, they're so amazing. They're just great kids. But becoming a stepmother isn't a role. It's not something it's like a role we play. It's a relationship. And it's one that's, deeply rooted in trust and love and mutual respect and kindness. It's earned. You have to earn it. And it's built slowly over time. And it's rooted in a choice. And my choice was, I chose them. I got to choose them. And I get to love them. And I get to love their dad. And I've learned day by day, every time that I get the opportunity to spend time with them, and we get to spend time as a family, that I always want to be a safe and a soft place for them to come and land, for their story to be a positive influence in their life. And that's even as I continue to write my own life, my own journey, is I always want them to know that they are loved, that they have a stepmother and they have a father and a mother that would do absolutely anything on this planet to protect them, to love them without condition, and to show up for them as much as we humanly possibly can. So if you are a stepmom out there and you feel unrecognized or sad or upset, or even if you're just a step parent, those kids look at you and they watch how you treat their other parent. They watch how you treat their parents, their mom, their dad. They watch how you treat your own kids if you have them. They not judge you, but they have the ability to test you, which is quite entertaining sometimes. But just remember, they're kids. You have to give them a safe space. You have to try your best to be a good example for them. And remember, they did not ask for you. They didn't ask for you. But just because they didn't ask for you doesn't mean that they won't love you. Because I know that my boys love me, and they know that I love them.